Bright suns, and welcome back to a new episode of Let's Talk About Star Wars with Maggie Lovett. Today is the last episode of 2020, and it is hard to believe that 2021 is right around the corner. But with 2021 comes the release of the High Republic book series, which everyone is so anxious for and excited about. And I'm very fortunate that Disney Books and Delray sent me advanced copies of those books, and I'll be talking about them a little bit later on in today's episode, as well as some other really awesome books that Disney Books sent me this week that made it feel like Christmas all over again. But before we get started, I do want to go over some questions from Twitter, and I'm going to be very tech savvy here and read them off of my iPad. So let's see. So on the 24th, on Christmas Eve, I asked everyone to send in some questions. Kamose asked, the end of 2020 is upon us. Thank God the Force. Out of all of the books, TV, comics, video games, toys, etc., what was your favorite Star Wars thing this year? What about Star Wars are you looking forward to most next year? So complete like complete 180 for me. I think the favorite part of 2020 in terms of Star Wars media was Boba Fett. I still can't believe I own a Boba Fett t-shirt. But I think just the way that I pivoted into liking Boba Fett goes to really credit the writer and creators of The Mandalorian and what they were able to do with introducing that character and giving him a moral kind of code. And I really like that, he had saved Finnick, and that just it instantly brings so much humanity to that character. And so I'm very excited about converting to loving Boba Fett, which I just did not expect for 2020. And I think that I'm most excited for the book of Boba Fett, which again, never would have expected to hear myself say. But I loved Maura Morrison. I love Ming-Na. I am just so excited about what's going to happen with that. I really like the direction that it seems like it could be going. And that like last clip from The Mandalorian was just like, whew, I still haven't gotten over it. So I'm very excited about that. I think 2021 has a lot of exciting things that are going to be starting to be in production, and we're going to start maybe hearing more about them. So I think there's just a lot on the horizon for Star Wars that I'm excited for. But I think Boba Fett is definitely like a weird thing that I'm very excited about. So thank you for that question. And here's to hoping that there is so much new content in 2021 for all of us to love and share with each other on social media. Apprentice Ewok asked, if you could appear in any of the future Star Wars projects, what would it be? Oh, man, you guys make me wish for so many things. So I would love to be in Cassian Andor. I would love to be in the Andor series. Obviously, that's not something that's going to happen because they're like already halfway through the season and it films in London. Um, Honestly, I'd like to be in anything Star Wars. I think it's far enough out that I can put into the atmosphere that I would love to be in Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron. Like I said in my recap episode about the announcements, Patty is such an incredible director. It was an absolute honor to work for 30 days on Wonder Woman and to see how she works. And like that would be like definitely a dream, kind of a far off dream, but you know what they say, a dream is a wish your heart makes. So I'll put that into the universe because I think that'd be really cool. I also loved the Rogue Squadron books when I was a kid. So there's just a lot there that are just like would be wish fulfillment. Um, Eric asked, what's your favorite film error decision that has turned into Star Wars lore? Green lightsabers existing purely because of desert lighting. Oh, that's a really good one. Oh, I think the green lightsabers is definitely something that I am the most familiar with. Um, oh my gosh. I don't know. That's actually a really hard one. I'm trying to think. I'm a huge fan of continuity errors and like gaffes. I do really like I really did like the blue jeans guy error and the Mandalorian. And I love that they digitally removed him as fast as possible. Um, It looked like that might have been the first AD too, which is even funnier, just based off the Disney gallery. Um, God, I'm trying to think of like, I'm just gonna go with the green lightsaber thing because I do think that that is the one that I'm the most familiar with and like not digging into some of the other ones. William has given up, asked, you do you have any favorite Star Wars video games? I know someone who is a big fan of Jedi Fallen Order. Yes, our friend Connor. Go Con Man. Looking forward to the Lego Star Wars review. So I I don't like Legos. I like Legos. I have like a whole tub of Legos still from when I was a kid, but I do not like the Legos movies and I do not like the Legos video games of any franchise. It's just like it's cringy and I'm very much not into it. So I'm not looking forward to that video game. I'll probably just watch some playthroughs. Um, if Vader Immortal didn't give me such horrific motion sickness, I think that Vader Immortal would probably be my favorite because I have always been and will forever be a Vader fangirl. And so existing in a virtual reality right next to Darth Vader was definitely a highlight of 2020. I enjoyed playing that immensely this year. I also really liked the Galaxy's Edge video game. I really like virtual reality. That game is so nice and did not give me any motion sickness, and I've been able to revisit that one. But I think overall, Jedi Fallen Order is probably the one that filled me with the most excitement because it expanded on so much already and added to the lore of the Jedi and who had, survived Order 66 and were still out there. And it makes me really excited that we might see Cameron as Cal in future properties just because it's identical to him. So that I think that is probably number one. I'm also still a sucker for the memories that I hold on to from some of the like Game Boy Advance, like Game Boy SD, Game Boy Advance video games from my childhood. I loved playing Attack of the Clones on, I think it was Game Boy Advance at that point, might have been SD, but I loved it. I also had a Game Boy SD that was red because I wanted it to look like Vader's lightsaber. It says a lot. Um, Kyle asked, what are you most looking forward to from a lore perspective in the new High Republic era? I hope we get more discussion around hyperspace and the Force. Me too. As far as High Republic, I think what I'm most excited for is that it is expanding on what we already kind of know about the state of the world at that time. And I'm really excited about the prospect of kind of retroactively adding on to some of the things that we already know about characters like Yoda and like the Jedi in it as a whole. And so I'm really excited about that. I've likened it to some extent to the expanded universe, which is just, expanding on the lore that already exists. So without saying too much about like what's in the book, I'm just really excited for the Jedi and seeing how the Jedi have evolved because I know that social media and myself included are not the biggest fans of the Jedi and what they eventually become because politics corrupt even the most well-intentioned people, and so I think that's ultimately what happened with the Jedi. And I like that the High Republic covers that they are very much peacekeepers, even if that's not where they end up and ultimately what they become. So I think that's a really interesting kind of dichotomy to play with. And I think the authors handle it very well. Um, Coffee SL asked me, Coffee SL asked me, who's the better daddy, Cobb or Boba? Um, I'm gonna go with Timothy Oliphant. I'm just gonna, he's the standee in my room. So, yeah, Cobb. Wow, that question. I am feeling like I'm bright red. I really should have read these questions before. Ah. Okay, so Elijah asked, aside from Cad Bane, which bounty hunters do you hope cameo in the Book of Boba Fett? Well, I hope that we see Mando. I feel like we would have to see Mando. Yeah, I really hope that we see Mando. I think that Cad Bane is number one, though. How dare you tell me not to use Cad Bane? I have a Cad Bane action figure up on my bookshelf. Oh God, I I know that we're probably going to see other bounty hunters, but I have this like hope that the book of Boba Fett is more of them like taking down crime syndicates. Um, I think would be a really interesting kind of like approach. And I don't think they're either Boba or Finnick are bad characters, and it'd be really cool to see Boba Fett like avenging the people that he knows that have been hurt by some of those crime syndicates. Since both of them have, an assassin and a bounty hunter doing good would be a really interesting thing. So, I mean, I'm sure they'll see other bounty hunters. I do hope that they introduce some new ones. As much as I do like seeing familiar faces, I think new characters are stupendous, and I look forward to the prospect of encountering new characters because it's quite clear that we all find ourselves attached to specific brand new characters. So I know that I'm very attached to Fennec Shand now, and that's like a brand new character that is now being added into things like the Bad Batch. And so that's what I like that Star Wars does is they introduce new characters and then they kind of reintroduce them into properties that we are already familiar with. I hope that answered the question. It's kind of long-winded. Um, and then Kermit asked, "What was your favorite background or minor character from this season of Mando?" Fennec Shand, I guess. I really did love her character, and I love that we're getting her as a main character in the new Book of Boba Fett. And so I'm very excited about the prospect of that, and just to show that I am officially a Boba Fett fangirl. It's happened. But yeah, I think in terms of characters this season, I did like Cobb, obviously, big fan of Cobb Vanth. Um, but he was just one episode. I did like the Night Owls, but again, I don't know. Phoenix Shan is she's gonna be my number one. Which brings us into some of the fantastic things that Disney Books sent me this week. So I received a package yesterday, and it contained these three children's books that cover The Mandalorian season 1. And I am being very petty, and I am going to be rating them purely on whether or not they mention Amira and Fennec. And yeah, not super happy about two of these. I mean, they're gorgeous. So like, they're children's books. They obviously can't cover everything. I do think some of them chose the wrong characters to highlight, especially with like a character like Fennec Shand, knowing that she was going to be in season 2 and knowing that the Book of Boba Fett was like in development. I don't know why they didn't push to have her mentioned. She's not mentioned in either of these books of really fantastic art, not mentioned at all. However, Tor Calican is mentioned, and I don't know why he needed a whole page. Also, this book, I love the art so much. I do not know who Tomato Farm is, but they do incredible illustrations. I was really excited because I was flipping through it and I was like, oh my God, they actually they included Omira. They included her, and here, but her name is never mentioned. So yeah, purely petty. That's going to be a hill I die on. This book, on the other hand, is fantastic. It is the junior novelization of the first season of Mandalorian. It covers all of the episodes. It obviously doesn't go super in depth into any of the stories, and it doesn't add a tremendous amount of extra context and content, but I do think that it gives a little bit of a better look at some of Din's interactions with characters. I really liked just how it was kind of summed up, and it was really nice. I would recommend this not just for young readers, but also for adults who are looking for some new Mando content while we're waiting for that long-awaited season 3. But I enjoyed that. So that was a nice surprise. I will be posting my reviews for these on Your Money Geek later this week, so keep your eyeballs out for that. And then I also got this book. also from Disney. The Galactic Storybook, which again has some absolutely gorgeous illustrations. Um, it did force me to have to think about the Rise of Skywalker again, which is fine. But I really enjoyed it. There were some interesting choices again in terms of like what to highlight. Um, entirely skipped over Attack of the Clones, which is my favorite prequel. And I'll talk about that in my review, which will also be out later this week. Just some interesting choices. But again, if you have children and you are looking to introduce them to Star Wars early, or you're introducing them to kind of supplemental content, I know when I was a kid, I really enjoyed reading, like I've said in the past, the Expanded Universe books, but obviously those were more mature. So if you have younger kids that you're trying to kind of give them more Star Wars, this is fantastic. It's so cute. It also has like a really nice tactile plush cover, which I don't know if this is a new thing they do in children's books. They didn't have children's books like this when I was a child, back in the dark ages. But it's just cute. I actually really like how they handle Rey at the end of The Rise of Skywalker as well. So it's a very sweet book. And I am very thankful to Disney Books for sending this to me because this is a cute one that's going to go on my bookshelf. And then the piece de resistance of my haul, which huge shout out to Del Rey and Disney Books, who both helped me make sure that I got the High Republic books because there was some issues with shipping this year. If you're in America, you know that the United States Postal Service is not feeling the joy. So there are just some issues, and they were so awesome to make sure I got this, ahead of the books coming out in January. So I finished Light of the Jedi this week. I enjoyed it. I am looking forward to discussing it more in the coming weeks. It's just absolutely a gorgeous book. I read books without the sleeves on, so I'm going to go ahead and take the sleeve off while I talk about it. So I'm a huge fan of like books that look really nice without their sleeves on. And there's so many like little things in here that I think, really, really makes it. Also appreciate that there are novels timelines to help you kind of read your way through. And yeah, overall, I enjoyed this. It made me very excited to read the other books, which I have not been able to get to just yet. The holidays are crazy, and I had so many things that I had to watch and review this week. And it is just hard to read everything. But I did really enjoy it, and I am really excited about what this era is going to give us. But as well as reading this, this came yesterday, this really adorable children's book. It is essentially the children's book version of this book. And that makes me really excited because I am a very visual person. And so a lot of the issues that I had kind of getting into the Light of the Jedi was getting to know these new characters who I couldn't picture and who I had no emotional attachment to. The Mandalorian novelization, the kids' book, super easy to breeze through. I know the characters, I know what's going on, I know like the settings and what things look like. But with a book like Light of the Jedi, you're being introduced into something that you have absolutely no frame of reference for, especially if you don't have like the illustrations that all of the creative team has been, putting up on social media, like right there with you while you're reading. So this is such a great kind of addition to go with Light of the Jedi because, well, first of all, there are stickers, which, if you've ever wanted a sticker of a Jedi Wookiee, you can have a Jedi Wookiee. But I liked it because the illustrations are absolutely unreal. Just some of these moments just look brilliant, and I'm very excited about, this being used to introduce children to this, because this is obviously not a children's book by any means. And so it's nice to, like, if you have kids, you can be reading this and your kid can be reading this. And then the two of you can discuss the same things that happen because this is the highlights from this book. So I think that's nice, and I appreciated it that coming this week. And then I also have these two, which I have not gotten through yet, and I'm very excited for them. I think I might, I'm really torn between like, who am I more excited for? Because I love Justina and I love Claudia. So I'm very excited to kind of dive into these and to learn more about these characters and, everything that's going on in the High Republic. So I'm very excited for this. Look for my reviews over the next 2 weeks. I don't know if I'll be getting my review out by the January 4th release date, but it will be coming. And then I also got Christmas presents. If you have been distracted by this light up Mandalorian over here, that was one of the gifts that my mother procured for me, and I'm trying to find the box. Okay. Well, I'll just bring this over here. So, it's hard to see. Oh, no. Here. Okay, it's going to be hard to see. But anyways, it is a light up nightlight style Mandalorian. Totally obsessed with this. It comes in multiple colors. And if I knew where, there you go. It comes in multiple colors. And it came with a Darth Vader and a child. And so I was very excited for that combination. My mother also got me a Mandalorian calendar for the new year. It wasn't actually supposed to get here until next, like 2 weeks from now, so in the new year, and it came early, which was very fun. And hang on, if I can get this open. There are obviously like quotes from episodes and the child just being absolutely adorable. Also thought this was an interesting choice just because it's calling him a Padawan. Interesting choice. Obviously probably means nothing, but still got me right in the feels. But it's, it's just bright eyes. Makes me hurt. But it's very cute, and I will be using it to count down every month between now and when we will see The Mandalorian again, because I am very impatient. But that is all of the things that I remember to sit here readily available. My mother also got me an adorable fat head of the child, which is going to be going up on my wall. He is adorable, and I am kind of obsessed with it. But I'm really excited to find out what everyone else got for Christmas. Did you kind of strike gold? Did your family bring home the bounty and bring you a child of your very own? I know my little group of childs, my Grogus. I did not get another Grogu, even though there is another Grogu out there. I'm just saying, I don't need 4 Grogus. It'd be really interesting if Grogu was cloned, wouldn't it? Now I'm getting into a tangent. But I'm really excited to find out what everyone got for Christmas. Did you get a Cobb Vanth standee of your own? Did you get some Mandalorian posters, or maybe you got a Mandalorian costume? I know a couple people who got some really cool Mando helmets that they bought off Etsy. So I'm really excited to, find out what everyone got for Christmas and what you are excited for in 2021. We have so many new things to look forward to. If that Disney Day investor call didn't get you excited, what has gotten you excited? Are you excited for the book of Boba Fett? Let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. And you can always hit me up over on Twitter. I am always ready to go to talk about Star Wars. Literally always ready to talk about Star Wars. And I would love to know what you would like to hear me talking about in the new year. We have 52 weeks of things for me to talk about, and there is endless possibilities. So thank you yet again for watching this episode, and thank you for being with me through the last, 10 weeks? This episode 11, 12. I've lost track. I tried to track down like how many hours of content I had created this year, and I think I streamed like 90 hours or something absolutely astronomical. So it has been so much fun to hang out with all of you and talk about Star Wars. So I'm looking forward to doing it in the new year. And as always, may the force be with you.